good morning everybody, and just for a change you're actually joining me on the first hole. Now we're back on the medieval land, but I'm in a different field today. It's taken me about half an hour to walk here, Christ, but not to worry. It's another massive field. Anyway, the first find is down here, but before we go any further I just want to give a shout out to a nice chap called Mark. That's from the metal detecting channel Adventures with Mark. Now it's a good channel, so try and remember to give it a watch. Okay Mark, nice one mate. Right, back to the first signal, and it's this little doohickey down here, and unfortunately it's a 2p piece, but not to worry, it's the first find of the day and I've only walked about 4 metres from where I'm sat, so we'll crack on and see what else we can find. Okie dokie, I'll see you all in a while. Right, the next signal, boys and girls, about 7 inches deep, and it's just there, and it's just a devil button, probably spawned by Satan himself. Well, probably not actually, but it's just a little button. Nothing special, just a tiny little button. I'm not actually going to show you all the buttons that I dig up, only the very nice ones. That's if I'm lucky enough to dig a very nice one up. So we'll pop this lot back and we'll crack on in that direction over there. See you all in a while. Well, as you can see, boys and girls, I'm just coming down the side of this hedgerow at the side of the field. We've got a signal down here, another deep one. I think the reason that the signals are so deep is because it's only just been ploughed and it's still very loose. There's a lot of air in the soil. It's very dry and it needs to be compacted a lot more by the rain and what have you. But anyway, back to the hole. I haven't dug one of these up for a while. It's not a Musketenklugel, it's a Pistonklugel. It's a little pistol ball. I haven't dug one of those up for a while actually. I don't think it's hit anything, but you can never tell, can you? Right, we'll pop it in the little boxy thing and we'll crack on a bit further, my friends. Well, boys and girls, this one took some finding. It's, I mean, look at the size of the bloody hole. Oh, it must be about 11 inches deep, that. Anyway, I eventually found it amongst this lot down here, and it's just there. And it looks as though we've got another coin. Well, I'm hoping so. You know, bloody hell, it looks like another 2p piece. Oh, God. Well, I think that's what it is anyway. Oh, no, it's not. Oh, no, it's, I think it's a, hold on. I think it's a little ship's halfpenny. It threw me for a minute because it's got Queen Elizabeth on the back. But it's a nice little find all the same. Okie dokie, we'll pop it in the little boxy thing and we'll move along. Well, boys and girls, as you can see, I'm down to the vest already. It's turned extremely warm. Anyway, I've got a signal down here. It was only about 5 inches deep and it's just there. And it's a tiny little... This soil is very dry as well. Anyway, it's a tiny little coin. I'm assuming it's a farthing. And even without my glasses on, I can see somebody's head, a bloke, facing right. Now I can't remember who he is, because as you know I'm rubbish with coins, but that's a little coin just there. You can see that, just see his head facing right. So as I say, I'm assuming it's a farthing. But anyway, that's another good sign, so we'll crack on in that direction over there, my good friends. Well, it has to be said, boys and girls, excuse me, some of these targets are taking some finding because they're so small. This one here, well, most of the soils fell back into the hole, but it was about 10 inches deep, and I eventually found it with the pinpoint probe, and it's this little item here, which is another medieval artifact actually. It's some kind of mount made out of bronze. Well, I don't know, it could have been off a casket or something like that, but I'll just show you that just there. And it's got a large stud on the back just there. It's definitely medieval, and it's quite a nice little find actually. So we'll pop it into the boxy thing and we'll crack on in that direction over there. Right boys and girls, we've got another signal down here. It came up at 81 on the ID scale, and it's just there, and it looks as though, with a bit of luck, we might have a silver coin. Just, oops, don't drop it. And there we are, my good friends. I'll put my glasses on and have a look, see what it is. I think it's another silver threepenny bit. I can't quite see I think the date is 1878. So yeah, that will be quite a young Victoria. In fact, if I remember, I found one of these the other week on my other permission over there. It'd be interesting to compare them when I get back to see what the difference is with the dates. But that's what it is. A little silver threepenny bit. Thank you very much. I tell you now, I've had to put my t-shirt back on because guess which idiot forgot to put his suntan cream on this morning, and I don't want to get burnt. So we'll not be stripping down to the vest again. Right, we're going to crack on, my friends, and head in that direction over there. Right then, my good friends, we've got another signal down here. I'll tell you something before I go any further. Parts of this field are so rocky. It's just all stone, and yet in other parts it's not too bad at all. Anyway, we've got another signal down here. It came up at 79 on the ID scale. Now, I only tell you the ID numbers just in case you're interested, because some people are. Personally speaking, I don't take much notice of the numbers. I go by the tone. I only look at the numbers if it's a bit of a scratchy signal, just to see whether it's a good conductive metal or not. Anyway, back to the hole. Looks as though we've got another coin just there, my friends. Hopefully it'll not be a Queen Elizabeth. Not that there's anything wrong with Queen Elizabeth, but it's this little doohickey just here. Does look considerably older, and I'd hazard it get. I'll tell you what, let's put glasses on. I mean, that's what glasses are for, isn't it? I mean, I'd hazard a guess and say it's King George V, but I can't really tell at the moment. Oh, it might not be. Well, it might be Victoria again, that. No, I think I can see George V. So yeah, be King George V. Well, I'm going to give it a little spray with the spray thing before I put it away, just to keep it nice and damp. And we'll have a look a bit later on, my friends. Right, we'll fill the hole in and we'll crack on. Well, I'll just quickly show you this, boys and girls. Oh, and as you've probably gathered, the wind has miraculously appeared from nowhere. Ah, well, there you go. It's another, I think that, I don't know whether it's a pistol ball or a musket ball. It's bigger than the last one. So anyway, we'll pop it in the little boxy thing and we'll crack on. Right, boys and girls, we've got another target down here. It came up at 86 on the ID scale. Show you again. Oh, not even 90 now. Anyway, oh, I don't need the pinpoint probe because I can see it. It's just there, and it's a very, very thick, very, very heavy coin. So I'm assuming maybe George III, something like that, penny. But that's the little doohickey in question. Once again, I'm going to give it a spray before I put it away, just to keep it nice and wet. And then hopefully with a bit of luck we might be able to get something off it. But there you go. Right, I'll fill the hole in and move on in that direction over there, my friends. Right, boys and girls, that's me done for the day. I'm absolutely exhausted. I know it looks quite flat, but with all the knobbly bits and clumps and stuff, it's really, really hard work walking on it. for as long as I have done. I've covered a lot of ground, found a few decent bits and pieces, so we'll do the roundup at home. Give me a chance to clean the bits and pieces up, have a shower. Absolutely dripping. The wind's kept down pretty much, so that weren't too bad either. So anyway, I'll see you all when we get back home for the roundup, and thank you very much for joining me once again. Bye for now. Welcome back everybody. Now, before we go any further, I just want to say, oh, that's my dog in the background. He's probably barking at the pheasants out of the window. Anyway, I just want to thank Mark from Adventures with Mark for giving me such a nice shout out, but I also want to thank Treasure Ed as well, because they were both together on the way out metal detecting. So thanks lads, I do appreciate it. Nice one. Right, let's get on to what we found today, which surprisingly enough is all down there. Right, rubbish. There are plenty of it. All this lot here, part of an old farm implement diggy thing, don't know what that was. Bit of old horse tack, well no, it's not old horse tack, it's quite modern horse tack. A bent key, lots and lots of lumps of lead as usual, surface fine, very old piece of glass. I think that's probably a Victorian teaspoon, which was silver plated at some point in time. A reasonably good button, which was silver plated as well at some point in time. 20p piece, 1p piece, lots and lots of little normal 4-hole buttons, but basically a load of rubbish. Right then, we also dug this up, my friends, which is another fine example of why you shouldn't throw things in the scrap bin just because they look like rubbish, which is what I thought this was. But when I cleaned it up, turns out it's part of an old medallion or medal of some description. Can't get anything off it, but it's very nice all the same. Little medieval mount that we dug up, possibly off a casket, something like that, which is another nice little find. I dug 3 musket balls up in total. You saw me dig the first 2 up with a nice white patina to them. The third one is much older, probably from the 1600s, a lot more corroded than those 2, but 3 musket balls all the same. And then we, coin wise, we dug the grotty old 2p piece up for starters, and then we dug this quite nice King George V 1p up. The date on that is 1912. There's a Britannia on the other side, sat down on a bum, so that's that. And then I thought I'd dug up a George III penny because it was thick and it was heavy. Anyway, I didn't. Turns out it's 2 coins stuck together. Right, now on one side is the Queen's dad, which is George VI, so that'll be from about 1936, but the coin that stuck to it on the other side, you can just see Britannia there. The date on that is 1905, so that will be Edward VII. I've got it right so far. Now I've tried to separate them with my trusty little Stanley knife. Other mates are available, but I nearly cut my fingers off. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to pause the video, go downstairs into the workshop, and I will get them separated just to see what condition they're like on the inside. So I'll see you in a couple of minutes. Okie dokie. Right, I'm back everybody. I've managed to get them apart with the aid of a small hammer and a tiny chisel. Anyway, that's the other side of the Queen's dad coin, George VI. There's a bit of detail on it. You can quite clearly see Britannia on the back, so it's not too bad. And that's the other side of the Edward VII coin. Well, you might be able to see his head. You can just about make the bust out there. with a bit of time spent on them, they might clean up quite nicely actually. Anyway, that's that sorted out. The other coin that we found was another Edward VII, which is a farthing, which is not in bad condition on that side, not bad at all really. There's very little on the other side at all, but that will be from about 1905. This is a ship's halfpenny that I thought might have been another 2p piece, but it wasn't, because I saw Queen Elizabeth. So anyway, there's Queen Elizabeth, and there's the little ship on the other side, just there, and the date on that is 1959. And then we dug up that lovely little silver coin, which is from 1878, just there. It's not in bad condition really. And on the other side is a very young Victoria. Now I said I'd compare it with the date on the one that I dug up the other week, which was also in very good condition, but this one is 1868, so it's 10 years younger than the one that we've just found. So to be honest with you, the one that's older looks in better condition than the one that's younger, but there you can't have it always, can you? Anyway, boys and girls, that's what we found today, and I just want to say thank you very much for joining me again. I do appreciate it, you know I do. And thank you to all my subscribers and viewers, new and old. Thank you very much. It's great to have you all on board, and I'll see you all on the next dig. Bye for now.